Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, Why? This is probably the first time on a Sunday we've done this, you know. Let's just go into this thing. Thing, man. Let's just go straight into this thing. Noble.
Yes.
Noble, man. And we're going to break this thing down. You see me? I'm a realist, you know. I'm a realist, Noble. You see, if I was talking some big talk, man. I've been talking some big talk. I've been talking some major talk for quite a few weeks, for quite a few months. I've been popping that talk in the gym. I've been popping that talk in the WhatsApp groups. I've been popping that talk to man just on the road. Actually laughing at people that were giving Francis Ngannou a chance. I was saying, don't be silly. This guy's never boxed professionally, and he's gonna take on the heavyweight champ of the world. I'm like, no chance. You heard what I said on the stream yesterday. I said, there's no version on the timeline where Ngannou wins. I was actually saying to people, there's no version on the timeline where Ngannou even gets any success. Now, no, but there's two. Just before we go into the actual talk about the fight, there's 2 points of view I'm coming from this from. I'm coming from it as a black man, first of all. And as a black man, I'm going to say well done to that man. He proved everyone wrong, even myself. He proved everybody wrong. Every decision he made, he proved every single person wrong. That, what we've seen last night is history. That is the real life Rocky movie. And it's actually even different. It's actually even better than the real life Rocky movie, because my man's not even a boxer. Now, as a boxing fan, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm very, very disappointed because the sport looks like a joke. And for years, Noble, as you know, I've been debating, even with yourself, like MMA guys in Birmingham. I've always been telling them, like, you guys are not elite boxers. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't. And I was saying at area level would beat him. Fury is a joke. He's an absolute joke, Noble. He's a joke. He's a joke. I don't care if he didn't train. I don't care if he didn't take it serious. My man is an absolute embarrassment to the sport of boxing. They've took what... Look at the 90s era of heavyweight boxing.
Yeah.
They've turned it into an absolute joke. They've turned it into a joke, and I'm passionate about this because I love this sport. They've made it a joke. The John Fury antics, the crossover fights. You're not training. Look at his body, man. Look at his body. Look at the state of him, man.
Yeah.
Just all the jokes, and you lost, and you can't even. They robbed that man. He won hands down. The fact that it was even competitive. Noble. It's and now I go gym. I didn't even sleep. I didn't even sleep last night. I will gym this morning. There's a guy in there who I've been like telling him like he's some big MMA geeks. They got the UFC t-shirt he wears to training. My man was laughing in my face, man. This is an embarrassment. Tyson Fury is a joke. I'm telling you the truth. Listen, no, but I'm halfway done with the sport, you know. I'm done with the sport. Like, let them do their misfits and crossovers, because when you go on Twitter now, all the MMA guys are laughing, and Sean O'Malley and Nate Diaz and all these guys saying, you see, we told ya. Ariel Hawani. No, but this is an embarrassment. And there's no excuse. The heavyweight champ of the world, even if he didn't train, you're supposed to go in there and stop my man immediately. That was a joke. That was an embarrassment. And Ngannou, he needs to be, people need to give that man his respect now. What he done last night, what he did, they're gonna make a movie about that in the future. Noble, talk to me, man.
You said a lot, sibling. You said a lot,
and
I said a lot, especially yesterday, because, you know, and as I said, I was very optimistic, and against all odds. Remember that phrase? Against all odds, he got to the point of when we were doing a build yesterday, which everyone was saying, "Nah, he dropped he fumbled the bag, this and that." I was questioning some of the things, you know what I mean? But look, he pulled it out the bag, and then what's even sweeter is the performance. Now, he did. Remember, I said, look, is this clever marketing? Is this clever marketing?
You were
And
right.
it certainly was.
You was right, Noble.
Because the speed, look at the speeds. He looked like a boxer. Not a very, very good boxer, but he looked like a boxer in there. Held his own. And in my opinion, and let me be transparent, and I'll even actually mention the people them because they're big. It's a big network. MMA Fighting, which Hawani is a member, the leader of, quote unquote, face wise, and Mike Heck and all those other people. They're saying morally, and what we saw, Francis won, but when we break down the scorecards, the judges were right. I don't necessarily
No,
agree
there
with
wasn't,
that
Noble.
still.
There wasn't. They
Nah.
weren't right. I rewatched it. And I ain't slept. I got bags on. I haven't slept. Noble, I'm telling you, I didn't. When you were messaging me, like, I was screwing that you come offline, you know. Like, I swear down, I didn't sleep because I'm like, yo, and then on WhatsApp, but because I was talking smoky on WhatsApp, so a lot of mine was coming straight for my head top.
Yes.
Like, yo, listen, they've turned the sport into a joke. It's an embarrassment. Imagine all those legends, all those greats were in attendance. Lennox Lewis, you can, the list goes on of the greats
Everybody.
that were in the building, and they had to witness that. And if you look at all the boxers, they're embarrassed, and a lot of them are lying as well, like Ricky Hatton lying, Lennox Lewis lying. I get why they're lying, because they're trying to show face, but it doesn't matter. This is a loss from all angles. It's a loss from the fact that a guy was making his pro debut and beat the heavyweight champion of the world. The Usyk fight, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, Noble. What needs to happen now? The only thing that needs to happen now, Joshua needs to fight Ngannou and just take him out and show man what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen. The Usyk fight's gone. All this gimmicky stuff has ruined the sport. And go through, Noble, go through, because I got better to say.
I know you got enough to say, but I'm gonna pick because you're highlighting some stuff, and I want to get into some
man, come through
of it, because as you're highlighting, as you're saying, there's a family. Tyson, is it John Fury, the pupper, and Tommy? Look! In the space of what, 3 months? Look what's happened to your beloved sport. And these three members of the same family are involved in this thing. Ariel Helwani asked Fury, "Yo, what go on with you? What you think about your brother's performance and thing?" My man said, "Yo, I'm not even going to talk about his performance. Look how much money he's made. Yeah. There's people who have this and got belts and whatever, and he's made more money than they have put together in a couple fights." So, he's doing good things. All this crossover stuff is excellent. He's getting eyes under something. You've got people with belts who want to fight my brother. So I'm not going to talk about the pathetic performance, because you know what? I'm potentially not even training for this Francis Ngannou fight, even though I'm talking the talk. Look, I'm a casual in comparison, yeah? I've never seen him. Francis... He did what I said. He commanded the center of the ring, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He done everything you said yesterday. You was right. And to be honest with you, like, I'm telling you now, this is how serious I was yesterday. If you'd have told me to bet my house, I'd have bet my house, I'm telling you straight, because like I said, it's like a go-kart driver going to race Lewis Hamilton. Like, this is crazy. Fury is Yo, if I seen him, I'd probably all Tom Pat his yo, I swear, man. I know he's the heavyweight champ, but I probably can go at him now. And that dad, listen, someone needs to just that dad. He needs to be taken out of the picture. The dad, the antics the dad's doing, they bought the heavyweight division. They disrespected that greatly last night.
It's in disrepute.
Yeah.
Let's use the verbiage.
Yeah.
It's in disrepute based upon what's going on. Lineal heavyweight champion, WBC champion. Now he's got some made up belt that they gave to him.
And Ngannou should have won. And imagine that's the biggest upset because he won. He won it. I've watched the fight. I've watched the replay. He won the fight, Noble. He won. I just can't understand how boxing is just, they're showing people. LeBron James tweeted and he goes, "This is why I don't watch boxing, it's corrupt."
Ooh,
you see what I mean?
Serious?
Yeah, LeBron James tweeted that. LeBron James, all these Americans are talking about, everyone's talking about it. Fury embarrassed an entire community yesterday. He embarrassed the whole global boxing community with what he did. And I don't even want to hear well, he didn't train and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
doesn't matter.
You know what it should have been? Let's paint the picture based on, and let me preface this with 2023, the Gregorian year, has been the year of realizations and upsets, especially within the combat sports landscape. Take a big think in your mind, people. What's happening in combat sports in 2023? We've had belts change, we've had super fights take place, and we've got the crescendo now. We haven't even finished yet. We've got Tyson Fury, as you say, look at him, physically looking like he shouldn't be the
physically
lineal.
Looking like the doughboy. You know that thing in The Simpsons that holds up the donut?
The Pillsbury doughboy.
The Pillsbury doughboy, man. What the hell's wrong with that guy, man? Why don't he get his body together, man? And Ngannou looked the part. He looked the part in them shorts.
They said it on the broadcast. He looks like the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, it's on stop. Him now? He's a superstar now. He's a superstar now. He's gone clear. And Ngannou does whatever he wants to do. Everyone who doubted that man, and this is what I'm saying, he even proved me wrong, because imagine a man like that coming on that journey, and imagine all the naysayers. I'm one of the naysayers too, and he proved everyone wrong. Imagine how Dana White's feeling now.
Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, sibling.
Yeah, man.
He would giggle and look, as everyone did. It was like, come on, there's no way. That's just crazy. Blah blah blah. Look, Francis needs to stick to come on. Let's do the full timeline then in a microcosm. Francis needs to stick with MMA. Allow all that business. Like he's just a killer. You know what I mean? John Jones wants to fight. Listen, John Jones needs to stay in his own lane, because Francis is the killer out of all killers. Then obviously Francis goes, oh yeah, John Jones needs to fight Tyson Fury still, because he's the baddest heavyweight in the whole wide world, man. You know what I mean? This and that. Yeah, Francis, he should have stayed here and made the real fights, man. He don't want to fight. He don't want to make the challenging fights. And then look, the stuff happens yesterday. Dana White's like, oh my God, we could have done the Mayweather McGregor thing. We could have been, UFC could have been a part of this. I could have had the old Zuffa boxing t-shirt, sibling. I could have been like in this thing. We could have made some silly money. And okay, so Dana White's kicking himself. He's absolutely kicking himself. So what are the ramifications of this thing now, sibling? He signed.
They're gonna have to change it. Yeah, they're gonna need to change up their thing. My man's changed the landscape of combat sports. Like, get ready. We're now entering the crossover era. Last night, Sean O'Malley was calling out Devin Haney. And now anyone who doubts them, they can say, well, look at what Francis did. A man made his pro debut and beat the heavyweight champ. Fury and Frank Warren I think Fury may go back into depression off the back of this, because I don't see how you can't undo this. Even if you rematch him, there's no undoing this. The fact that it was even competitive. I said it in the boxing group that I'm in on WhatsApp. I said to them last night, I said, it don't matter. The fact it was even competitive is too much. Even if it was, the fact that my man even got out the second round was too much. Like, this a joke. Like the fact he even got out the second round, like it's a joke. Like, these man have ruined the sport day by day. The way they look, the way they play around, the contradictions, the stupidity, it's a joke. They've turned it into some clown show.
Business? Yeah.
Some clown
as
show.
You know, Mark, as you know, right? Sean O'Malley, very talented striker, man. Very talented striker. Lower the weight classes go, the more technical the fighters are. There is, as we've seen, these guys genuinely, with all this historical crossover fights, they've tailor-picked aged opponents to get these wins and stuff. If we're talking about people in their prime and we go lower down in weight divisions, I'm being serious. Even though we've seen what's happened yesterday, I don't see Sean O'Malley hanging anywhere with Tank, with my youths, with anybody. I don't see that happening. The lower you go down, the more chances that you will see what we're talking about. Levels.
You're right, Noble. You are 1000% right. But I think moving forward now, I'm not even, these crossovers, I don't even want to even speak on them. Let them man just do their clown show. Like, I don't even think the heavyweight division was disrespected in a way that it's never been disrespected last night. The MMA community now are, they're on top of the world. And I'm going to tell you the truth, Noble. Last night was the night that I realized that MMA is now the primary combat sport.
Yeah.
It is. The fact that my man even made that competitive.
Yeah.
And look at the phenomenal shape that he was in.
And it's
like, one man took the thing serious, one man didn't. And my man, look at even when he knocked him down and he kind of taunted, like, that was,
shook the little dance.
Yeah, man. And Ngannou right now, he must feel like unstoppable.
Yeah, man.
Unstoppable, because mans were even saying things like he beats everyone else in the heavyweight division. People were saying all that kind of stuff.
Well, all right then. Let's have that conversation, because I did hear on the said MMA fighting. What's next for Francis? What's next for Francis? Well, I don't even want to see him in the PFL again. I don't want to see him do another MMA fight. Based upon this performance, I want him see him fighting Deontay Wilder. I want to see him box. Yeah, and even if they don't do that, get himself back in the PFL and just get anybody, even if it's a journeyman, and just do some boxing fights. Let's get his confidence up. Let's ride the wave and the momentum of this triumphant victory, this moral victory in every sense of the word. In every sense of the word, he got the money. He actually got into the ring with the consensus greatest heavyweight of all time. Yeah, that's what people say. Yeah. Right? Went 10 rounds with him, knocked him down. Was it the third or the fourth round?
Third round.
What?
Yep. Huh? Third round.
Was giving him power shots.
And it was a counter. It was a counter. It weren't even like, it was like it was a counter. Mm-hmm. It was a count. Well, man, Noble.
Levels, boss. Levels.
Fury is a joker.
Mark, listen. I want to see it. I want to see all. I want to see him next. I don't want him to see him fight Joshua. He's a boxer. He fought in the Olympics and thing. Yeah, he's a boxer. Yeah. Right. I want to see him fight Deontay. Actually, did Deontay Wilder? Did he have any kind of Olympic run or anything like that?
Yeah, the bronze bomber. That's where that name comes from.
Okay. So I want to see that.
That shouldn't be next. Shouldn't be next, Noble. Power. It shouldn't be next. How he should be moved now. If I was Ngannou's promoter, put him in there with I'd make him jump in with like a Joseph Parker,
Okay.
who was on the undercard, just to see what he does with him. You see what I'm saying? Before throwing him in another mega fight, I'd put him in with one of them to kind of see. Because if Wilder lands, yeah. Matter of fact, you know what? I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. I don't know.
You see?
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta question it. You gotta question it, sibling. I understand your reasoning, but it's 2023 now. What you're thinking of is the old way you were supposed to do it. It's 2023 now. Let's get the biggest names, yeah, within reason. And again, if he was that competitive with Tyson Fury once, yeah, and Tyson fought Wilder 3 times, sibling.
Yeah.
I like his chances.
Yeah,
I like his chances, boss.
At this point, I don't know, because I just think what happened yesterday, that was like the odds. What were the odds of that? Like 1,000,000,000 to 1 or something. Like who would have seen that coming? Like he don't show no signs of good boxing in the cage. He hasn't shown no sign. And even if he was a great boxer, this was his pro debut against a man who's been boxing. You see that, man? You see that whole camp? Tommy Fury, Sugar Hill, the dad. They all a load of idiots, man. It's a whole bunch of clowns from the circus. And the fact that they lost, they couldn't even go to the press conference.
Yeah.
They couldn't even do the press conference and face the media. Look in the ring. My man squaring up to Usyk, knowing the fight's not happening, you know. Squaring up, knowing the fight's not happening. Squaring up to Usyk, and the thing is, Usyk knows that, yo, you come in here like that against me, you're gonna lose. Look, there's some footage on Twitter of someone filmed Usyk watching the knockdown. He was disappointed. And a lot of those boxers as well, like I said, they're trying to save face. That's why they're saying, oh, nah, he did win, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was a man making his pro debut. Put it like this. You remember when Deontay Wilder was getting trolled by that Charlie Zelenoff?
Yes, that video on my thing, yes.
The levels between, I know obviously he's an idiot, but you know, the levels between a non-boxer. All right, let me give you a different example. Sonny Edwards fought a troll. When you have a boxer who's been boxing his whole life and someone who hasn't, that's what usually happens. But that was Fury. He's done. He's done, man. He's done.
They just play with them and thing. I've seen like a 60-year-old granddads with his full somethings on, just with boxing gloves on, in his not even his Sunday's best, like a jeans and a jumper, and a guy in there doing his little thing, young guy, and he's like, yeah, okay, I'll put these gloves on, and he's just schooling him.
I seen it. You see
the one?
Yeah, I've seen it. He actually drops him down, innit?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yes. See, technique, experience, and muscle memory. I don't care how old you are. If you're proficient in pugilism, right? Come on, man. Anyone who is a rookie in that team, you're supposed to show up. You're supposed to show up like someone in the Premier League, yeah, has a kick around with someone in a secondary school. There's going to be levels, right?
Yes, of course. That's how it should have looked, but my man proved all the doubters wrong. And you see, even in defeat, even in him winning, he was still super humble.
Oh, yeah.
He was still like, you know, I'm going to go back to the drawing. But he won the fight. He won the fight.
I think he should have been more vocal. You could see when the decision was read, like Francis got the first round. He was like, "Yeah, man, yeah. I've definitely done good, man. You've definitely been seeing what I've been doing." And then Tyson for the second time, they put all their hands up. And then when it was read for the last score, you could see on his face like, "I had that, man. I had that." And what he should have done is still be the humble self that he is, but say, "Yeah, in my heart, I'll definitely, as many people do, I thought I won that. I would definitely want to watch that back again to see what the judges saw. But I felt I won that thing. Congratulations to the champ. You know, he did his thing. You know, I've proved a lot of people wrong because I'm here. I lasted the 10 rounds and it was competitive."
They were never gonna give him the fight because in December
Yeah.
they've made the Usyk fight, so that ruins that fight. Which I think that fight's ruined anyway. Even if they say, because they're already making excuses for Fury. Oh, we weren't training properly. I don't want to hear none of that. None of that matters. You lost to an amateur. You lost to a man making his pro debut. Like that shot, that tells you everything you need to know about Tyson Fury. Like, I think he slips back into a depression because even if you look at a lot of the UK boxers on Twitter, they're all saying what an embarrassment to the sport. Anthony Fowler, what's his name, Luke Campbell, a lot of them just look on Twitter, they're all saying it. What an embarrassing night for the sport of boxing. The MMA guys are absolutely loving this.
Yeah.
Absolutely loving this. Yeah, this is what we told you, we can box. And saying things like, put Pereira in there with this man, and you know, like Matt, just saying all this stuff, saying that it should be boxing v MMA. This is what happens.
You know
man.
what? In a crazy way, take away everything that's happened, even last night's events. That would be like if they did like a night of crossovers. I wouldn't be. It would be different, but again, it would give the floundering boxing community an injection of MMA fans watching their stuff, and vice versa, a cross-fertilization of skills in essence. It's all combat sports, but let's put it all together for a quote-unquote night of spectacular freakdom. I wouldn't be dissatisfied with something like that. Not on a regular basis, maybe every couple of years or something like that, to test the markets per se. But all these individual things with that, like, look, let's strip the actual event down itself. You couldn't even view it properly on TNT Sports.
Yeah, it froze like 3 times.
The production was terrible. They had some. Who was that? The UK dude. Who was that?
You're talking that British title fight?
No. Before they walked out, was it? No, yeah, the title fight.
The British title fight. Yeah, that's that David. I think he's African brother from London. David Sutton. Okay. But yeah, even him, he lost as well. I knew he weren't that good still. You see what I mean? I knew he weren't that good because he's been life and death with like man that are way less than him.
Oh,
like he looks good in that, but nah, I knew he weren't going to be no top contender or nothing.
So the prelim card was crap, absolutely rubbish. Okay, absolutely rubbish. 6-round fight rounds and all this business, and then the entertainment. I didn't know who the people were. It was only, and this just shows like I'm old school, boss. I'm a granddad in essence because I don't know none of this stuff. It was Little Baby. There was a dude in these big heavyweight clothes, miming. I might add, miming. Miming in 2023, sibling. And I'm like, who is this little youth?
Oh, Little Baby, the rapper.
That was Little Baby.
Yeah, that's one of the leading rappers. Rap's gone to the dogs, as you know. That's one of this generation's leading rappers.
Pathetic.
Yeah,
absolutely pathetic. Then they had some other geezer on. They had some Latino, Hispanic woman on. It was poor. The breaks in an hour and a half break between the main event and the last fight. Like, what we doing, man? Cutting away. It was poor. It was. You know what? Misfits murked production value.
Yeah,
murked off that thing. Murked it off.
It's the Saudis. Nobody, you know what it is. The Saudis have got that money, and you know what the West are going through now. So man are just going through, just doing whatever to get that money, and that's it. Tyson Fury made 50 million last night. US made 50 million, and not to mention all the sponsors and all the other stuff. My man's walking away with crazy money for it's a joke. The sport, as a competitive sport, it's done. It's not about, it's all about branding now. It's all about what you say.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Just get yourself in a position to take gimmick fights. And in some cases, you don't even need to get yourself in a position. Look at Tommy Fury. He just went on Love Island.
Love Island, man. No.
Just went on Love Island. What kind of serious boxer who's trying to have a serious career goes on Love Island? And then he's been able to just spot. He can really have a career. Matter of fact, he can fight KSI in a rematch, fight Jake Paul in a rematch, and he can retire forever and live off that money for the rest of his life. And that's what they've done to the sport. As far as it being a competitive sport and mixing it up, the promoters have ruined the game. Based on the fans not getting what the great fights, a lot of fans have moved over to MMA. A lot of men who watch us on the stream, they've moved over to MMA now. Because in MMA, the best are fighting the best consistently. Look at Tyson Fury's last few fights. Chisora, Dillian White. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It's all but boxing. It moves too slow.
Way too slow.
Now Joshua's got an opportunity here. Jump in and show man what it's supposed to be. Go in there, march forward, and show man what it's supposed to be. And in the post fight, say, look, I'd never disrespect the sport. The Saudis are just throwing around money, flying out all them man. Then I'd have felt stupid as a boxer sitting there. Imagine me being an all-time great.
Yes.
I've paved the way for these man, and you're in there fight crossbreeding and all this kind of stupidness. You're doing these crossovers are stupid. Like, I wonder if other sports will start doing it. Like, I wonder if other sports are going to start doing it now.
Like what though? Like combat sports, you're saying?
Like the crossovers, whatever sports. Like to say, like I said the other day,
badminton and the tennis player.
Yeah. Like, let's get the best badminton player versus the best tennis player. And you know the maddest thing? If it was MMA, if Fury goes into that, what you call it, the octagon?
Octagon is
my
trademarked
man stops him in 2 minutes.
Octagon is trademarked by the UFC, so it would be if it's not the octagon, it would be the cage. They just call it cage.
Okay, the cage. So you put Fury in the cage. What happens is what happened with James Toney. But in a boxing ring, these men are jumping in and very competitive and beating, man. And this is what I'm saying. Did Floyd help do this too? By carrying Conor? Fury should have took the, and talking about I had a 12-week camp. What kind of man is in camp for 12 weeks, dieting, eating clean and training, and his body looks like that? Beer muffin tops.
Yes.
Beer fat round the back.
Tops. Listen, man is not supposed to have shape like that.
Yeah,
listen,
man.
Let me repeat that again. A man is not supposed to have a shape like that. Muffin tops and them kind of something there is for women who are overweight. Yeah?
You see it no more. Man's got muffin tops. Why don't you, like, why are you not eat? Listen.
He's not respecting himself, sibling. He's not respecting himself. He's not respecting his wife, Paris. Yeah? Because come on, man. You doesn't need to be chiseled up like Ngannou. Maybe he doesn't have the genetics for that. But come on. A little bit of top abs and thing. Flat. Come on.
Well, look at his brother. Look at Tommy. You mean to tell me, Tommy, okay, you've got different moms, but come on, you mean to tell me that he's in the same shape as his dad, who just drinks beer all day in a caravan?
Mark, you've just laid it out. It's the genetics. You see? The mom's genetics for Tommy versus the mom's
At least Tommy looks good. My man, like, and stop taking your top off, man. Why? It was embarrassing, man. It was embarrassing. And like I said, I went on WhatsApp. A lot of man slaughtered me in the gym today. It was embarrassing. I was doing legs. A man come over and stood over the machine.
Oh, no.
He come and stood over the machine. I said, I said he won. End of story. He's like, I thought you said there's no timeline where this don't happen. I said, listen, it's almost like the universe gave him that L. It's almost like the universe said, let my man win, just to show people that it's a load of foolishness. Misfits and crossover fights. And what should have been happening last night is Tyson Fury versus Alexandra Usyk. That's what we should have been watching last night. That's what we should have been locked into last night. But because It's all about money now. It's just about money. That's it. Like, are you in this thing to be an all-time great or what? Or you in this thing to make money?
That's
And
it.
don't get twisted. He's rich.
Mark.
He's rich beyond belief. Anyway, Fury's. He must have 100 mil.
Look, they're prize fighters. They're prize fighters, and of today, the modern era, not the 90s, early thousands, of the modern era, prize fighting and sports entertainment leads the way. Legacy and doing what them mans did back in the day, I don't know.
I hear that, and I get that, but you know the maddest thing? You go to the yard, yeah? There's an area called Beverly Hills. I've been there myself. You look at Lennox Lewis yard there. Now, that was a man who fought for legacy, but guess what? He's got the money to go with it. Name another one. Mike Tyson. Look how much money he made. It's and not like the crossovers are damaging the sport. I know they're making money, but these Saudis. So what? So if the Saudis turn around and say, you know what? I want Manchester United to play PSG in a stadium over. We're gonna pay this. You think that man ain't gonna do it? Matter of fact, I gave the wrong thing. Let's say they try to. These Saudi managers sitting down in their yard and saying, you know what? I want to see Ngannou versus the best boxer. I'll pay them, man, whatever. And the fact that the West, I said all of this years ago, the Saudis are just throwing money at people and people can't say no. Fury makes 70 million in the Usyk fight anyway. So I don't get it. No, but I don't know, man. It's a joke thing. It's a joke thing.
The money that we're talking about, as I've highlighted many moons back, it's just we shouldn't be paying people that kind of money for to entertain us. That doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Now, definitely within reason, obviously people should be compensated for their skills, especially such a violent thing as, you know, getting your head bossing, you know, in any realm of combat sports. I get it, but this is money. This is bigger than some country's GDP annually.
Yeah. It's the Saudis. Look how much money they spent last night, and their brothers and sisters are getting boom up in one. I know it sounds bad I'm saying it, but look how much money they spent, and their people them are just getting bum out down the road from them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, them man are just making this thing a mockery, and then just every single man was there. Apparently, even I don't know how true it is, but even Kanye got 10 million just to go. I'm like, what?
Kanye was there as well.
Yeah. Kanye, Eminem.
I saw
Vince McMahon, Undertaker. Every boxer you name it.
Yes.
Every boxer you name. Apparently, they were paying influencers and all that as well to just keep tweeting and taking pictures there and doing all that. It's mad. Them Saudi man, like this.
They're planting seeds, man.
I can't wait till the cars go electric, man.
Mark, don't get caught up with the thing, boss.
Nah, no, but man, they're doing too much now, man. They've done too much in football. Now they're doing too much in this boxing thing. They've mashed up golf, mashed up PGA. WWE. Like, how much more? There's too much money over there, man. And it's ruining the sport. Man. Before, I never used to think it was, but now I'm looking at it's ruining the sport because they're able to just say to a man, I'll pay you 10 times what you're making over there to fight. And then look, he didn't take it serious. He don't even look like, he looked like he didn't even have a camp, and all the gimmicks, and look at his trainer, takes his top off and all. These men are idiots, man. These men are prats. I'm taking it old school. Prats. It's hard looking at that count. I don't watch no interviews. It doesn't matter what Fury says. I don't watch none of his interviews. I used to watch football hard, when I was young. And when all that racism stuff come in, I never watched it again. And that's the way boxing's going for me. It's too gimmicky, man. I come from an era where man were going in.
And then straight boxing, straight in the booth, old school wars, 1, 2, and 3.
It's a joke, man.
Listen, people who, let's say, people who are younger, this is all they know, innit? This is all they know. So their relationships in regards to good fights and what fights should be, it's all predicated on this.
Yeah.
Unless they're sitting at the feet of the elders or their fathers, uncles, who are, yeah, I'm going to Uncle so and so's, you know what I mean? And Uncle so and so, he's playing some old Ray Mercer, some Tyson, some Cassius Clay, pre Muhammad Ali thing, some Ricky Hatton something, some Prince Nassim something. And they're seeing the energy, they're seeing the atmosphere, they're seeing man's actually putting in the damn work. And then they can compare it to what's going on now and they can say, well, now it's cool still, but that was the thing.
Joke
That's what
thing,
you
man.
benchmark the sort of off.
Absolute joke thing, man. Absolute again, few. I mean, Ngannou. This is a big look for him. It's a big look for him. My man, prove everyone wrong, and I'm glad that he's going to be able to really change his whole generation's life, and probably the next one too. If he invests his money right, yo, my man's he's gone clear. But I'm just talking about the disrespect of the sport of boxing that Fury is showing it. The man's showing it no respect, and he hasn't in a long time. But you'll give him the benefit of the doubt because when it's time for him to step up, he steps up.
Yeah.
Because really, I was hoping he'd just jump in there and peace, my man, not real fast. Just to show the levels like, yo, you MMA, man. But what he's done is put the battery in them man's back. Because now man are calling out decorated, undisputed champs. Man are calling out undisputed. Even imagine a man like Canelo seeing that. A man who lives and breathes this thing. He don't take no gimmicks. Imagine him watching that last night. Embarrassing the sport.
Would you agree with them post their boxing career? So once they've reached their plateau and they retire. So let's say Tyson Fury retired in 2020 as the lineal heavyweight champion. Would you agree with him then taking on these gimmick fights?
Yes, no problem. Yeah. Once you finish your career, let's say he was at a stage like let me see. Let's say he was at a stage like a Chisora. Fight gimmick fights, man. You're done. Yeah. Fight gimmick fights, but when you're the champ, when you're the actual active champ and the undisputed fight, look, this is the first time I'm thinking since Lennox Lewis we would have got that. And they've ruined that now. Like, when we're going to see that ever again? Because remember, we had a boring... the heavyweight division died when the Klitschko's had it.
Yes.
I'll always respect Fury for bringing it back when he beat Vladimir. But the division's just... It's gone to the... It's an embarrassing thing now. It's a place now where... Man are now saying Ngannou's... Well, he is. Ngannou's now the lineal... heavyweight champion of the world. He is.
And you remember I posed that question to you yesterday.
You did. You got it right. No, but what you said on the stream yesterday was right. What I said, I was completely wrong. I got every single thing wrong. And I got everything wrong. And like I said, I faced the music. Like I said, I was doing my legs. I was on the machine. You know the one when you put your back down and you're pushing your legs up? A man stood over the machine, Noble.
Yeah.
A man stood up because I was talking that real spicy talk.
As you should. Defending the case.
Yeah, man. It was an embarrassment, man. Casuals are loving this. Yeah, casuals are. You go on Instagram. Casuals are loving this, but no, that was a changing of the guards last night.
Yeah.
MMA is now the primary combat sport. That's it. Dana, as much as people say they hate Dana and all of that, that model, that's the model for combat sports. The best fight the best every time.
Yes. All right then. So that's an excellent segue to recap that Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski and also Usman. Yeah.
Chimaev.
Yeah. So we spoke about it. Yeah. And I said some things, you know. The comparison is, as you've said, the best fight the best. Now let's unpack what happened. Short notice. Islam was supposed to fight Charles Oliveira. He got cut over his eyebrow. 12 days notice or some shit, yeah? Alexander Volkanovski steps up and says, I'm going to do the thing because we had a very competitive fight. So as you say, the best are fighting the best. Not under the best circumstances, the champ's having to readjust his game plan, salute to the champ, reigning, defending lightweight champion in Islam. But he's got a new opponent. Now, what happened when he turned up into the cage, sibling? Volkanovski looked podgy and out of shape.
Yeah.
He did not look ready for this thing, boss.
Little Fat was peeking over his
Yes.
his what them something called
Trunks.
Yeah,
Trunks
Little Fat was
man.
peeking. That's one thing I hate about MMA. One thing I hate about MMA is the last minute pullouts and man replay. He shouldn't have took that fight. Apparently he made some millions, but he shouldn't have took that fight, man. And then he got boss up. A man just kick out the side of his head and just It was out, and it was sad to see him in the post fight crying.
Oh my!
You know what I mean? Crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, look at that, man. The UFC, they need to do better and protect their champions, man. Meaning that make sure at least a man should sign a contract to say, if I'm fighting, I have to have at least a 6-week camp. These men are fighting with 7 days notice, and it's crazy.
Day's notice. So all right, this highlights another thing, Mark. This highlights another thing. Sometimes it's a 24-hour notice change, yeah. And sometimes this fighter's not even in the UFC, so they'll take a champion from the LFA, from Cage Warriors, from whatever promotion, and say, look, you can make the weights, right? We need you in 24 hours. They're not going to go through the USADA program, which they're no longer a part of. How do they get tested? How do they make sure that fighter is above board and squeaky clean? How does that take place in such a short time? Right? So then, as you say, going back to the interview, that shows a lot, sibling. I am very worried, and I did a breakdown of this on the CFR Sports. Alexander Volkanovski, I'm concerned for him. You heard what he said, Mark.
Yeah, he needs to stay active. That's when he was crying, innit?
Yeah. When I'm not training for a camp, even my wife says it, I'm miserable. As soon as I heard I got this fight, I had the smile came back on my face. What is going on in his life, man?
I can tell you, Noble, because I've spent some years around I've spent some years around top MMA fighters, which is actually now the welterweight champion Leon Edwards. These guys live and breathe this thing. And when I say they live and breathe it, they're in the gym in the morning, they're in the gym in the evening, and they're focusing on, usually when they're in camp, they're focusing on a particular thing. When they're out of camp, they're in camp so much that when they're out of camp, mentally sometimes they feel like they're not doing nothing. Like sometimes when I don't know if you get this, but I get these problems. Sometimes if you stay in bed too long, you feel like, I need to be getting up. I can't stay in bed.
You're wasting your life?
That's what I'm saying. But let's get into the Chimaev.
The
Chimaev.
Come on, Ronnie, I'll let you start, man. I'll let you start with this.
I think Chimaev's there for the taking still.
Yes.
He's there for the taking. I believe that was very competitive based on Usman. I know they say Usman stays in shape, but the fact that he come in last minute and put on a performance like that, imagine if he was able to, and they said that it was only 3 rounds, imagine if it was 5 rounds.
5 rounds.
And he was able to have his proper camp. Chimaev, I like him a lot, and I like him a lot even more based on his post-fight speech, but I can't see Chimaev doing much. I think they're making the wrong move, making him go for the belt now. Telling you the truth. I think it's the wrong move. But you see, this is what boxing's done to man now. Because I would say Chimaev's probably 4 or 5 fights away from the belt.
No, not that, man. It's not
that. How much would you say, Noble?
Based upon him, unfortunately getting the win against Kamaru, he's 2 fights away. He's at least 2, possibly 3 fights away. who should be fighting Sean Strickland now is Duplessis, who was
who was meant to be fighting Israel.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
now his punishment for saying, well, look, I can't turn around so quickly. You want me to do what Aljo did, right? And he's lost his thing. I haven't even got a belt, and you want me to just turn around and I've got an injury. I can't do that. So they're punishing him, they're spanking him and saying, all right, then you ain't turning around for us. Okay. Because now Israel doesn't even got the belt no more. Sean Strickland walked him down and did a 1-2 and took the thing from him. So you're not going to get the title shot, even though you deserve it. You beat the quote-unquote gatekeeper, the number 1 in Robert Whittaker. You beat him easy. You beat him easier than Israel, than anybody's beat him. Okay? He should be going for that thing, sibling. He should be. But Dana said, okay, these are bad people, man. These are bad MFers, right? They stepped up on short notice. The winner of Chimaev and Usman, they're going to get the champion next. Forget everything else. It's bullshit.
Yeah. You know the UFC loved Chimaev, but they also loved, and I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that Chimaev is in this lane, but they also love Darren Till. Certain times, I think the reason why the fans love MMA is because the best fight the best consistently.
Yeah.
But I think they do a poor job in building fighters. Because I think
they build the wrong fighters at times.
Yeah, they build the wrong fighters, and sometimes they put the wrong fight. They step them up way too early, and put them in positions where they shouldn't be in. But then on the other side, boxing build fighters way too slow.
Yeah.
A man starts his career, you know it's going to be 10 years till he fights for the... It's just long.
Yes.
It's a joke. And after last night, though, MMA can definitely stand up and give themselves a round of applause. Yep. After last night, the MMA community can feel proud to know that their heavyweight UFC champ, because I know he gave up the belt, but he didn't lose the belt. So their heavyweight UFC champ made his pro boxing debut. You know, boy, it's like saying that. It's like when Mighty Mouse for Rod Tang.
Yes.
It's like Mighty Mouse beating Rod Tang in Muay Thai.
Yeah. Technically it was mixed rules because
it was one round Muay Thai, 1 round MMA. But in the Muay Thai round, my man was just covering up and kind of running around. Yes. But let's say it was all Muay Thai. Eventually, Rod Tang would catch up to him.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
It's different. It's levels, man. You know when people say levels, some people don't really understand. Like this, okay, so we got boxing, yeah, that's a striking art. We got kickboxing, that's where we can use our fists, and we can use our legs. Now we get Muay Thai, where it's 8 limbs. 8, not 2, not 4, 8 limbs. Come on. I want to see a boxer say, allow all this MMA business, boss, crossover. I want to fight a kickboxer in his thing. I want to fight a Muay Thai champion in his thing, boss. And then he can come over and fight me in my thing. If come on, everyone seems to be challenging themselves to step up to a one rule set. I want to see a boxer, if they're gonna carry on doing this thing, I want to see a boxer say, "Yo, I want to let's salute the Queen, the Sistrength, the Gwot, yeah,
Shields. Clarissa Shields. She done MMA fight in it.
Yeah, she took 2. She's done
PFL.
2 MMA fights. PFL. You gotta salute it, man. You got to salute that shit.
Definitely.
Looked terrible. Let's not get it twisted. Looked terrible. Very amateur. But she got the win from her debut, Brittany Elkin. And she's a wonderful young lady as well. She had multiple opportunities to win that thing, but, nerves, etc., etc. Clarissa got the thing, boss. I want to see more of that, boss. I don't want to see MMA man just saying, yeah, man, I can fight Canelo. Don't be stupid. Canelo.
And imagine, even Canelo has said, why would I fight these, man? I'd wait till the end of my career to do that stuff. That's why I rate Canelo. That's why I have so much respect for Crawford. These men are throwback. Fury ain't no throwback. Fury ain't no throwback. He's just a man who's been blessed with a certain skill set, and he's gangly and he can do certain things, but he's not a throwback fighter, man.
He got chin as well. He got chin.
His chin solid. His chin solid. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. He's got one of the best chins in the division. But when I'm talking about the heavyweight division, Fury is not a throwback fighter. He's not taking on all comers, and he's doing things very calculated. He ain't fighting Usyk in December. If he turns up how he turned up, just give the belts to Usyk now. Just give him to Usyk now. Just give him the belts from right now, because there's no way you stand a chance like that. And then people talking about, oh, he didn't prepare, and so what?
Well, no. Is that an excuse?
They're making all kind of excuses. They're saying he didn't prepare. They're saying he didn't take it serious. They're coming up with all those kind of excuses, but I don't want to hear none of it, because even if you didn't prepare, you still should have beat him.
But let's just look at this in its entirety. Let's look at the detail. The promoters got together and said, we're going to make this fight. And then the two people, the combatants, signed on the dotted line to turn up at a certain date, at a certain weight, to fight each other in 10 rounds. So there is no excuse.
Yeah.
None. I don't want to hear nothing.
No excuse. None. That's why you've come on here. That's why I've jumped on this morning, not waiting for Saturday. I'll come on. There's no excuse. There's no excuse coming from me. I said what I said yesterday, and I truly believed that. I truly believed that Ngannou had zero chance. But like I said, everyone has to take their hat off to Ngannou. He proved every single person wrong along the way, and he has become the real life Rocky movie. And like I said at the start of the stream, he's actually become better than the real life, because at least Rocky was a boxer. He ain't even a boxer.
I want to see it. I want to see New Line Studios, Cinema. I don't want to see no Prime thing. I don't want to see no Netflix. I want to see a proper major studio put together a 2-hour, maybe 15-minute film, biopic, whatever the hell, on Francis Ngannou. Warts and all, okay?
Yeah.
Because, come on, man. Let's do it right now, man.
No, he needs it. Yeah, he needs it, man. He needs it.
Francis Ngannou, boss.
He needs it. He needs it.
They need him, man. They did all kind of things. They disrespected him. They were talking all kind of... Dana saying all this stuff, going back on his word, doing this and doing that. Look where him there now.
No, it's true. It's true. My man there, that... If one thing you can take from his story is, in life, sometimes you have to have tunnel vision and block out all noise. Because...
Say that again, Mark.
Sometimes in life, you have to have tunnel vision and block out all the surrounding noise. Because imagine the type of self-belief he had to have to know that he could have got in there and been competitive. No one gave him a chance. Even when he left the UFC, I was one of them saying he fumbled. I said he fumbled. Because I was like, nah, no one. I didn't even think anyone was going to fight him. And the fact that he has come through all of that, my man deserves a movie. I want to see a movie from him starting as a child in Africa to last night.
Yes.
Put that in 2.5 hours. I'd go and see that. I'm telling you, my man, people have to take their hat off to him, and he's not one time stepped out of character. He hasn't disrespected nobody. He hasn't shown no aggression. He's always smiling. Like, we can learn from this man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's absolutely crazy what he's pulled off. But again, that's as a black man.
Light.
That's as a black man. But as a boxing fan, I'm vexed with Fury for playing with the thing.
As a boxing fan, you can't say nothing about Francis. You just got to talk about Francis. You got to talk about.
Yeah, you can't say nothing about Francis. That's why I said straight Fury. Francis hasn't done. Francis has actually been perfect. Look at, even I was saying, the gimmick with Tyson training him, and even his trainer, people need to take their hat off to him. Dewey Cooper. No, Dewey
Eric
Cooper.
Nixon and Dewey. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Dewey Cooper. He's from the Mayweather gym, and he does not. He used to work with what's my man again? Combat Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to. No, Badu Jack. I'm on about Combat Tekken. That's the geezer of Tekken. No, Badu Jack. My man.
Oh shit! Is
Yeah,
it all?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. My man used to he used to work with Badu Jack, who was a champ at 168 or 175, something like that. My man now has took an MMA fighter to box what was currently the best heavyweight currently and beat him. Dewey Cooper should be the hottest trainer in boxing right now. If I'm a young heavyweight, I'm going to see him. The fact, because remember, that's his boxing coach, you know. That's his boxing coach. So he put together the game plan. So it's mad. It's mad. But it was just a quick hour. I said we come on here and talk because I didn't want to wait till Saturday. So we had to come on and just address this thing. But I got it wrong. My hat goes off to Francis Ngannou. He deserves a lot of respect. I have zero excuse for what happened yesterday. And that's it, man. That's it. What you saying, Noble?
Congratulations, man. Against all odds, man. All odds. This is Francis Ngannou in this whole fight, this whole lead up, everything is an example, man. People need to look at this and say, if Francis can do that in combat sports, I can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I can make the changes in my life. I can change my career. I can do whatever I want to do. I can do it, man. If I just, as you say, have the blinkers on, tunnel vision, put in the work, and we can physically manifest what we desire in our lives.
One more ingredient, self-belief. Never stop believing in yourself. When I look at Ngannou, if I was him, I'd have probably listened to some of them naysayers. So I can learn a lesson even from him, knowing that he marched forward and ignored every single last one of them. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, no.
I'm loving the journey, sibling. I'm loving the journey. I'm even more invested in Francis. I'm dubious with this PFL thing. I think maybe he should, depending on what he wants to do, like he may even want to just cut ties with them totally and just, unless they're prepared to go down this boxing thing. But I'm very invested even more in this journey and where this is going to go. I want to see more activity though. Because one thing we didn't mention, and this is, when was the last time that Francis Ngannou fought?
It's nearly 18 months at the ring, isn't it?
Exactly, sibling.
Yeah.
And his knees were fucked, remember?
Yeah.
He had to have surgery on his knees. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Against all odds, man. Against all odds. That's what the movie should be called.
You see it there?
Yeah, man.
Let's jump. I won't trademark it. Don't worry, sibling. Take it, boss.
Yeah, man. That's what the movie should be called, Against All Odds. But yeah, that's it, man, Noble. So, people, it is what it is. We've got a new heavyweight champ unofficially, but he's the champ. He's the champ. Definitely, that's the champ. Francis Ngannou is the heavyweight champ. The Usyk does what I said yesterday, though. Really, what should happen is he fight Usyk now. That's what should happen. But yeah, man, that's it.